New Zealand's Canterbury region holds the unfortunate title as the most degraded natural habitat in the country, with only 2% of the native bush remaining. Protecting the remaining precious native bush in Canterbury is critical to the region's sustainability and survival. A dedicated group of environmentalists are committed to making a difference. They call themselves Trees for Canterbury. Trees for Canterbury was established by Tim Jenkins in 1990, and from humble beginnings as a backyard operation, Trees for Canterbury has grown to become a well-established community organisation.
The aim of Trees for Canterbury right from the start was to start putting a few things back in place. We've got a real need to get this biodiversity back into the countryside, back around the streams, the wetlands, and just changing that patchwork of paddocks into something that more resembles what was there in the past. One of the interesting things at Trees for Canterbury is that we've had a few different things to focus on: to employ, to educate and to regenerate. So the employment part of it is working with some of the region's disadvantaged people and bringing them in through involvement in a worthwhile environmental project, bringing them into an idea of fostering life skills, work skills, and increasing their chance of finding employment.
It's more than just a tree growing program. It's more than just a little environment group. It's an important part of the community now. And we have people who have intellectual, physical, social disabilities, and they come here, rain, hail or snow.
Good to get back, nice to meet people.
Enjoyable, different jobs, and do better and have fun with what you're doing.
It's not just trees that we grow, it's people.
It's nice to be able to work in a place like this where you're not working for profits for someone, but you're giving back to the community and planting out in areas that you know in 20 years' time are going to look absolutely fabulous.
It's always great to give something back, you know, and you need to. Yeah, everybody should be doing it, sort of giving back to the planet when we take so much from it.
One of the important things that we do here at the nursery is explaining why we need to save native plants or why we need to plant the things. Talking to the older generations about the need to replace what we've taken away. People didn't understand how close we'd come to wiping out all of our native vegetation. We've only got 2% left. To get people involved, we ran a seedling swap where children brought in an empty, used, recycled milk container. We gave them one with a plant in it. They could then take it home and plant it. And 10 years on, we've got young adults coming in here, so excited. I remember the first time I came here. You should see my garden. I planted a tree from your seedling swap. It's fantastic.
Our third aim in Trees for Canterbury is regenerate, and here we're talking about regeneration of native biodiversity. So it's the establishment of plantings and taking care of them that over the years they'll start to regenerate themselves.
It's not been an easy road. Financially, it's been about, at times, putting your hand out and just asking nicely, can you help? We worked hard on that, finding different ways of raising funds, you know, to the point where we started selling plants as a means of self-sustainability. And so we set about finding out how to set ourselves up as a nursery or a garden centre that people would come to. We looked at ways that we could show people what they could do. And so the whole design of it was based around some natural waterways that ran through the empty site, taking those natural waterways, enhancing them, planting them out with what naturally grows in waterways and building out from each side so that the public can see how you can go about it. It makes it more than just a visit to a garden centre. It's a natural display.
As Trees for Canterbury grew and their throughput increased, it became obvious that they needed to find a more sustainable and reliable source of planter boxes.
The original nursery was built from recycled materials. It wasn't much use us going out and then buying in heaps of new plastic pots. It just didn't fit with our beliefs. And what we were trying to do, we wanted to recycle and reuse as much as we possibly can. Early days, there'd been all sorts of soft drink bottles and jam jars and everything had been used, but they weren't ideal containers. One day, somebody tried a milk carton, and it was perfect. You know, it was a litre of soil. You knew exactly how much you were using, but of course the roots grew nice and long. Plants grow down and out, not round and round. And so the milk container was an ideal planting vessel. And so we started recycling it and reusing as many as we can. We had off-cut material from the cartons, the tops and the corners. And so what we've done is we've now started recycling those ourselves. We're turning those into quality handmade paper.
This not only establishes a great range of specialty handmade papers, but also creates additional employment.
We've now got a great nursery. We've got 150,000 plants on the ground at any one time. Now, 2/3 of those go out into community projects. It's all wonderful things.
It's fantastic to be involved in Trees for Canterbury, to have all this grow around us, to be able to really make an impact into how our region's going to look like in the future. To now, 2 decades down the track, we can start to see things happening, and it's just such an exciting time.